pastor once said, negative feedback is better than none. I would rather have someone pay me than to overlook me. Tonight, the subject of my presentation is about how to provide effective feedback at the workplace. Feedback is more than simply telling someone how well he or she is doing their job. Toastmasters International Managerial Speaking Manual states that it is an opportunity for the feedback provider and the recipient to work as a team, conquering challenges and setting new goals together. When done properly, effective feedback can be a powerful motivational tool. I have with me tonight on stage our VP of Education, Mark Taylor. Here we will demonstrate how to provide effective feedback. In this role play, Mark will play the role of a disgruntled, low-performing member of the software film package team. I will play the role of Mark's manager, who have recently taken over his team. I have initiated a meeting to provide Mark some feedback, and together we will attempt to find a way to improve his performance. Mark, thanks for coming.
Hello, Mike.
Let me close the door here. Mark, the reason I asked for this meeting is to let you know that the last couple bills you did all got rejected by our QA team. The bills contain the wrong files.
Oh, the software builds were wrong. Well, Mike, I'm not really sure that's my fault, because I went to the network drive and I got all the files there that Larry put there, and he had the procedures there, and he stacked all the files, and so I followed what Larry's instructions were.
Well, Mark, we work as a team, and it doesn't matter who built the software, but whoever does it has to do the job correctly. I need you to make sure that before the bills get to the QA team, that they contain the right files. Now, can you think of something that we can change to help improve the failure rates?
Well, I know that sometimes when I use the procedures, I'm confused about exactly the steps that are in there. Sometimes I think the steps are wrong or they're missing, and it's just not obvious what I need to do.
Well, let's discuss that a little bit more. How do you understand the procedure is supposed to be?
Well, the builds as they are set up in the file sometimes are confusing, and I don't know if you know this, but I really haven't been with the company a long time, and I guess for some time I've been wondering if I'm ever going to get trained. I've done this job before for a different company, but our procedures were a little bit different, and so I was wondering if there was any way for training to occur in this area.
I like the idea. I'm open to scheduling some formal training. I would strongly recommend that we also specifically focus on training for checking for the build result. For example, it only takes 8 minutes to open up a versioning file in a package to check that against the build request to make sure they match.
Yeah, Mike, you really are right, I guess, about versioning the files. For checking the versioning are straightforward, and I do understand those, and all I can say about that is that a lot of times I feel under a lot of pressure for the schedule that's given to me, and I may be skipping those steps a little bit, and I guess at this point I would just like to, I can say that I will be more fastidious in my checking of the versioning every time I do a build, and to make sure I double check everything twice.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to help us improve our work. What I'll do is I will schedule a weekly training session where the two of us spend time just going over any questions you may have about the build. Would that work for you?
Yeah, well, I think that if we do that, it'll probably be a win-win too, because, like I say, sometimes I look at the procedures and I'm convinced that they're missing steps or steps that are out of order. So perhaps we can work on getting more of a quality check for the procedures as well as training me on exactly how they're being followed.
Great, then we'll do that then. I think, thanks for taking the time to come in today.
Thank you, Mike. I feel a lot better.
But
Thank you.
As you can see, Mark was initially very reluctant to accept criticism. But by engaging him in constructive dialogue, I was able to get Mark to help me formulate some action items that will help cut down on the bad bills. As a result of this feedback session, Mark became a better employee.